Hello, can people hear me? Let's see if there's a chat. Is it enabled? Can people hear? There should be a chat where you can respond to me. If you had a Google account, I can send you an invite, but I can't hear anyone speaking. It's like I have 6 viewers, but I don't know if I can hear anyone. If people can send me their Gmail account, that would be good in the chat. So there should be a chat. Looks like I can see your comments now on the side. Let's see, can you hear my... Hello, hello? Can anyone hear me? It looks like it's delayed a little bit. Well, I can start, but let's see. There's not so many comments. It's like people can hear me, and maybe I'll just start with what we have. Although this is difficult because I'm not really. Let's see. Not that. So I see comments. I see the comments. I'm just student. Okay, so let me invite people. Student. It's like someone joined the group chat. Shannon. think I hear someone else. Shannon?
Yep, I'm here.
I'm trying to add other people.
Okay, take your time, no rush.
But I feel bad for all the other people. Okay, looks like another person joined. Yeah, I'll increase the text size. Is this a good size?
Yeah, that's good.
So we have 2 people in the chat now. Everyone look at their emails because I'm trying to send them all right, so Paul is in as well. Maybe. And then let's invite more students, all the students. So everyone who can, because this is delayed probably like a good 10 to 20 seconds, everyone try to add me on Google Plus, and then I'm going to try to send you an invite. Like maybe a few people are on the call now? 3 people? 4 people? Corey, you can, Corey is here. Is Lori here? And can you hear me? Okay. We have 3 people on the call. Lori is invited. I don't know if she's on yet. Ashley, I think I invited her. Alright, so I don't really want to hold up too many people, so is everyone okay with me just starting? Oh, some other people added me, so let's add add to circles, student. There was a few people that just added me. I'm trying to figure this out. Sorry about it. Okay, Paul has started. Paul is here. And I'm not sure who else is there. Okay. Alright. So we can add some more people. Shh. I'm done this. Please calm down. 8 members. Didn't add people. So that should be 8 people total. And a few other people are joining. Chat, let me know in the chat. Can you hear me now live? We can see fine. Yeah. So, Shannon, yes. I think everyone who's going to add me. So I think we're ready to start. Let me pull up the assignment. If anyone has any questions, just let me know. Stop me. I'm not sure if everyone can. I'll try to monitor the chat. If anyone has any questions, just stop me. And let me open up the screen. Let's actually, yeah, let me open up, show the assignment. No, not those two. Look at the assignment first. So assignment 4, we want to create 2 classes. The album class, let's zoom in a little bit. We want to create an album class that has a few different properties like the title, artist, price, release, the number of albums, and then we want to create a cart class. So I'm just doing an overview of the assignment 4. I'm not actually going to do assignment 4. I'm going to do something very similar to assignment 4 that you can, I will send out everyone the file after we're done with it. Then it should be pretty close and you should be able to modify it and get, assignment 4 should be much easier. So after we have our cart class, that's going to be used to add our albums to the cart. And then now we have B methods. The album class is going to have a purchase function, and that is going to return 1 if there is a good amount of quantity left in stock, or -1 if there's 0 quantity. Then the cart class is going to have the add function, and the remove function. And then we're going to have a test program that creates 5 different albums, and you put it in an array, and then you loop through until you run out of money, pretty much, and then you print out the number of items in your cart. And so that is what the assignment is, and I came up with some assignment that's somewhat similar, a little different. Let me share the screen right here. I think this is good. So this assignment is going to be, we're going to create a car class, and then we're going to create a garage class. Create a garage class. For the cars. The easy way to create a class is by creating a function that passes in different arguments, depending on what it is. Like, for example, we'll create this car class called function car, and we want to pass in the make, model, year, color. Now, to show that when we create an object, the classes are usually capitalized, so we want to have capital car. When we create an object, we use the this operator for this object. So this dot make, we want to set the make of this object to the make being passed in, like so. So we do the same thing for all of the objects being passed in. So make, model, year, and color. And there was one part of the assignments was, let's see. Okay, so if we take a look at the assignment for the album class, it's going to ask us for artist, and basically the artist is going to pass in the first name and the last name. So we want to do something similar to that with the make and the model. So we want to have a make and model. So this dot make and model. So we can do that by doing whatever the make plus with a space in between. So we can concatenate the make and the model together, and then when we want to just print out the make and the model, we can just use that parameter, make and the model. All right, so we have our make, model, make and model, year, and color, and now we want to do the for each car we want to have a unique ID. So this is something that we'll do this dot unique ID, or we'll do this dot ID equals unique ID. We'll create a variable, making the model. Right. So we have our make, model, make and model, year. Actually, now we want to do, because I'm getting some feedback. For each car, we want to have a unique ID. So this is something that we'll do this dot unique ID. All right. Oh, there we go. Thank you very much. Okay, so we're going back to our. So we want to create a variable, unique ID, and start at 0, and then when we create an object, we want to use the unique ID, and then we want to increment the unique ID by 1, so that we know when we search for the different cars, if you created the same exact car, make, model, year, color, but it's actually a really different object, we want to use this unique ID to identify which one is which. And that will be used down the road when we get to selling cars. So now we want to create a cost of the car, and we'll do this, dot cost equals, and I like to create the variable, we'll do a random number since past few assignments we've been using random numbers. We'll do var min cost, set the minimum cost at 5,000. Then we'll do var max cost at 100,000 because, you know, we might have some expensive cars we want to buy. So to do a quick math function, we'll do math.floor because we just want to round down. We'll do math.random times the max cost plus the minimum cost. So now we have our ID, our make, a model, make and model, year, color, and cost. And we want to create some functions. Oh, and we're missing mileage. This dot mileage. So the starting mileage of the car. And we'll do the same thing with the a random mileage to start with. But now we're going to create different. So min mileage equals 100. And then the max, I'll just do max mileage 100,000. 100,000. So do the same thing, mileage, the minimum mileage right here, the max mileage right here. Now we'll automatically generate the mileage. And we'll do one more function so we can print out all of these items. It's easy, so we can easily read all these items. So we'll do this. This is how we're going to create functions for an object. So this dot get car info equals function. We don't want to pass any variables because it's just a get function. And we'll do console. I'm going to print out to the console log this dot make model, make and model. We'll print the make and the model, and we'll do plus equals \t, so it lines up nicely with the type sign. This dot year. Do the same thing. /t type with the this dot color. Not color, depth. Color /t type plus this dot cost plus /t type this dot mileage. That is going to print out our make and model. Is that the correct make and model? Oops, I messed something up. Make and model. Copy that because those are capital letters are all messed up. And let's just, since we have this class created, let's just create a car just to test it out. So we'll do var car1 equals new car, and then we want to pass in the make, Honda. I'm just making it up, Honda model CRX, because that was my first car. I like it. Year is 1985, and black. So now, if we just run this in Node.js, we don't have any errors. That's a good thing. And now we want to test out the get car info. So we'll do car1.get car info. Save, run, and there we go. Honda CRX, year, black, mileage, or cost and mileage. So we'll print out. It's hard to read, a little bit hard to read here. We'll create a function called, it'll make it a little easier to show them lined up. We'll call it function car header. It's a little easier. Console log make and model \t type, and then year \t type, color \t type, cost /t type, mileage. Now when we want to do, before we get the car info, we're going to call the header. Car header, save, run. Then we have make, year, color, cost, make and model, year, color, cost, and mileage. So and if we keep running this, you can see that the cost and the mileage will change. 44,000 for 1985. That's very expensive. But it was an awesome car, so that's why it's expensive. But all jokes aside, let's start moving on to, since we have the car class created, we'll move on to the garage. Actually, I'm taking a look at my notes here. We want to create one more function that will be helpful for the car, which would be this.getCost equals function. And the reason why before I start going too far, the reason why we would want to get cost function is if this cost, you want it to be private, like if you don't want it to have people access it through car1.cost, you would want to create a get function, which would be get cost. So here you would just return this.cost. Like that. And we'll use that later on. So now we can get the cost. So now let's create the garage function. So the garage function is similar to our cart function, where we want to have an array to store all of our cars, and we're also going to create a bank property, which is basically all of our money, and we're going to create a function to buy this car, or buy a car, in which you're going to pass in the car item object, and then you're going to sell a car, which you will pass in the car object. So let's create this class called function garage and we're talking about adding an array, this.garage, which is an empty array initially, and this.bank, and we want to start with $1 million because that will be fun. 1 mil. And then we want to create a function called this buy car equals And we want to pass in the car object. And for this, what we want to do is we want to make sure we still have enough money in the bank to buy this car. So we'll do a check if this dot bank is greater than car dot get cost. So that means we have enough money in the bank for the total cost of this car. And if so, then we can add this car to the bank. So this dot garage dot push. So we want to push this car into the garage. And then we want to update the bank how much we have. So we would do this dot bank equals this dot bank minus car dot get cost. Like so. And then we will want to print out to the log saying our new bank value. Console.log. Your new bank value is plus this dot bank. And we want to return, since this was a good buy, we want to return 1. Now we'll do the else case when we don't have enough money. Else return, well, how about we print console log, you do not have enough funds. And we want to return -1. Now we created the buy car function of our garage, and let's create a new garage class or object. Var garage, my garage. My garage equals new garage. Actually, there's two more functions we want to add. We want to add the sell car, but that's not super important right now. Another function is getting the garage info, which will be very important so we can do some testing. So we'll do that first. This dot get garage info. This function. Console.log garage info. And then we will want to print out our bank value. Console.log your current total bank equals plus this dot bank. And then we want to do a car header so we know what the columns look like. And then we can do a for loop on our garage. So we'll do for I equals 0, I is less than this dot garage dot length I plus plus. Then we can just do this dot garage and index into our garage, and then we'll use our method get our info. So if you remember, we push a car in the garage, and then once we index into the garage, this item right here is a car. And once we have a car, we can use the methods like get car info, get car cost, and so that will be very helpful. So now we have our get garage info function. we have created our garage. We have, well, actually, let's put this down after we get the car. Create the car. We create the car, we create the garage, then we want to my garage dot buy car. So if we look at the prototype for buy car takes a car object. So we'll take the car one and pass that into buy car. And then we can do my garage get garage info, like so, and that should print out our one car in the garage. So let's print it. So we created a one car. Our bank value is this after we add the car. So if you remember, we had $1 million, and once we bought this car, the new total bank value is this. Then we printed out our current garage, which prints out our bank value and whatever's in the car. So what we want to do is create a few more cars. 5 cars. So 2, 3, 4, 5. And I have some pre-defined for myself to look at. Hyundai. Okay. 2015. Yeah, future car, 2104. And we can do like Lotus, Lease, 2010, and we want to do Pearl. We want to do Tesla since everyone loves Teslas. Do the Model S, and this is going to be a newer one, 2014, and black is all Teslas. Most Teslas. Well, we'll do white. And then we'll do one more Tesla, the Model 3, which is going to come out soon. Model X coming out later this year, Model 3 coming out 2017. Looking forward to that. Model 3, 2017, and black, because black is awesome. So now, since we don't need to really print this out anymore. We created our 5 cars. We bought a car. Oh, I didn't print out. So buying a car should return a value, if we remember. Buying car either returns 1 or -1. So if we want to do some kind of testing, so we'll do if the return of the buy car equals 1, then we want to print out console log you have purchased a car. Save that and run it. So it says you have purchased a car because it returned to 1, which is good. So after we bought the car, the bank value is that, and it says we returned. On the return value, it says you have purchased this car. Then we print out our garage. So what we want to do now is if we want to relate to our assignment what we have left is we have created our 5 cars or albums. We have an initial amount of money, and we want to loop through and keep adding items. Or actually, we want to put these cars in a car array. Equals R1 R2 R3 R4 R5. Now we have our car array. And then we create our garage, and now we want to have for loop or while loop while So how do we want to do this? So we need to have some type of, we want to do while. Do while so we want to have a loop and exit basically when we run out of money to buy a car. So we can create a flag var funds still available equals true, and while funds still available equals true. So then what we'll do is we'll pull this if statement in here and do the checking to make sure that when we buy the car, it's still good. And so when we buy a car, it's good. If else, we'll just say else. This is bad. Cannot buy a car. You do not have enough money. And then we want to set this value to be false. And now we want to use this car array to index in here. So we want to use an indexer. We'll just say car index. Start at 0. And we'll do car index. When we're good, that'll buy the car. And then we want to increase the, let's see, if we want to check to make sure we don't go out of bounds. So we want to make sure car index is less than car array dot length. As long as it's less than the length, then we can increase by 1 equals car index plus 1. Else we want to set it to 0. Go back to the beginning. Else car index equals 0. But just going back over this, we have a do while loop saying we want to start, we don't have to check anything. So for a do while loop, you don't have to check anything until the end of your first iteration. We want to buy this car index, and if it's returned the 1, that means it's a good buy. You purchase the car, then we check to make sure that so we can increment the car index, make sure that it's less than the length. If it is less than the length, then we increase the index. Else we want to reset it back to 0 because we just want to keep going over and over and over until we run out of money. And it might be fun to print out the car index to show how many we actually have bought. So you have purchased car, we'll just say car, number, so and so. And then, okay, so then once we buy our car, if it's good, then we'll return to 1. If it's bad, we'll jump in the else case saying we don't have enough money for the car. Maybe we'll print out our garage okay. So we know, whoops, so we know how much we have left. And then afterwards we'll print out the garage info of all the cars in here. So let's see how many errors I run into. Okay, so let's see. Line 40 cannot read property get cost. Line 40. Line 40. Get cost. So car, get cost. Car. So we purchased 0, 1. Okay, so we did purchase car. 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm trying to purchase the car. We're buying the car, so where is the buy car? Buying the car index. That's when it's at 4. It should be okay. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, R5, not 3. So now we're getting into some debugging. This is the part that I didn't do before, so that's why we are getting a little hiccup. And the problem is that the get cost of on line 40, when we try to buy a car, the car passed in, get cost does not have a cost at all. And why is that? So we buy a car, we bought 1 car, we buy 2 cars, we buy 3 cars, we buy 4 cars. I wonder if we're not setting, I wonder what the index is before we get the cost. Or what the index is when buying a car here. So we'll do a console.log index equals plus car index 5. Alright, index 5. So we are going out of range. It's supposed to be 4. And why is it going out of range? Car index, we have purchase 4 and car array dot length. Let's print out. Let's see what the length is. Save a 5. Oh, need a double quote right there. Save a 5. Length is 5. Why is it 5? That's strange. Maybe we'll do, instead of defining it, this should be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know why the car array is being changed at all. I don't know why it's 5. I wonder if we did push R1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The index starts at 0, and it should be go to 4, index 5. So if we comment this out, save, run, array, push. Oh, I didn't define it. Array. It's the same thing. Maybe we just need to do -1 to the length. There we go. So now we have purchased. Does it say how many we've purchased? Oh, the car index just rotates. So let's let's remove out the length because we don't really need that anymore for the debugging purposes. Let's create a variable called, actually no, we don't need to create a variable. We can just say, we can do garage dot length. Fine. So we have undefined. Maybe we'll just create a variable called garage total, car total equals 0, and we can just do have a item, we'll just do car total equals car total plus 1. That this out. So we bought 16 different cars, and you can see it goes CRX, NFA, Lotus Elise, Model S, Model 3, and keeps going loops and loops and loops. And we run up with total leftover bank of $5,000. So that's pretty cool. So the only thing left we have is to sell our car. So we'll do this dot sell car. We create a function car. And we want to make sure if we pass in an ID, we want to pass in the actually, now that I think about it, when we keep adding these cars to our garage, the ID is still going to be the same. That's when you bought the car, the IDs are still the same. Okay. Looks like someone is commenting there a little bit off. So we'll create our sell car. Pretty much what we want to do is, I think this is going to be just deleting every single, probably the first item in the list. I'll explain it later. So we'll do we'll want to loop through our garage, and once we find unique ID, then we want to delete it. Not too bad. Sounds like difficult, but it's not too bad. Go through the garage, so I is less than garage dot length I plus plus. So if this dot garage, this is an array, so we're going to index into the array dot unique, which is, what did you say, ID. We have our ID is equal to the car. We passed in .id. That means we have a match, an ID match. Then we can do this lovely function, this.garage.splice with the index and only one item. And then we want to, this is a fun thing, we want to, as you sell a car and it's not worth the same amount, we want to sell it at a depreciated value, we'll create a variable. The variable up here, car depreciation value equals 0.5. We'll say we get 50% of the value from what we bought it. So so it's a garage, sell car. That means we want to do this dot bank equals this dot bank plus car dot hit cost times depreciation value. That means we have our current bank value, and we want to add the car's cost, but we want to also multiply by the depreciation value of 50%. So that's all you would have to do for your sell car. And if we really want to we can update the total car by deleting it. Might want to bring these variable up at the top. Our total, and then we go to our sell car, and equals car total minus 1. And let's do a my garage. So car. I'm going to pass in probably just car one. I haven't really tested this part yet, so I'm not really sure what will happen. So let's run it. Let's see. Garage is not fine. Garage not link. Maybe I misspelled it. So we have garage. Oh, we have to do this stuff, garage. There we go. So, but we didn't print out the garage info again. So we sold the car, we didn't print out the garage info. So if we look at yeah, I'm not sure if it sold at all, to be honest. Because we have our bank value, total bank value, didn't change. So let's just do a quick little debug. I don't want to hold you guys up too much. I already know I went overboard. It'd be fine. Let's do a print. Console.log found car who sell. Let's get that his present F5. Didn't work. So reality, I'm not too worried about this remove item from the cart. I think adding that from the cart is good. We can do it. And see if we can figure out. See, we'll do it. Undo that. What's going on here? We'll do the garage ID, first party, so it's probably going to go through a lot of 0, 0, 0. Let's see. 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like the ID gets lost somehow. That looks like they're. We'll take a little debugging, but I don't want to hold anyone up on that. So pretty much that is an alternate version of the fourth assignment. I will send this out to everyone in the class so you can see it and use it as a basis. I'll just delete some. I'll clean this up. Don't worry too much about the car cell or the delete album. I'm not really too worried about it, but if you get that in, then I'll just give you some bonus points. If you have any more questions, I haven't heard anyone speak yet. I'm kind of surprised. If anyone has any questions on anything, if I've gone too fast or a little hazy. Oh, it looks like your car number starts at 0, not 1. My question. So we have two file names listed. Okay, so one question was, can we create this in one file? You can create it in one file. I believe the assignment is asking for 2 files. It's not too much more difficult to just add a second file. And because it pretty much everything's like globally used as long as it's in the same directory. But I'm really fine with it just being in one file. So yeah, don't worry about 2 files. And if you want to, you can unmute and chat. One file it is. Yep, that'll be fine. Does anyone else have any questions related to this assignment or previous assignments? I'm willing to go back. Ashley, you have a question?
Kind of. Can anybody hear me?
I can hear you. I can probably hear you.
Okay, cool, thanks. On the last assignment, for some reason, every time I turn it in, I still didn't get that array. I still don't really understand it, even though I turned it in so many times. Can you explain what I was doing, like what the appropriate way was? I won't turn it in again, it's okay. I just want to know how to do it.
Sure, let me go get that for you. So, assignment 3.
Yeah.
Someone chatted with me. Yes, I am recording this video. So this will be syntax. So, right, this was for, do you know, the future value or prime?
It was for the second one, I believe. Mm-hmm. Hold on. It was for the odd evens.
Okay. Alright, so let's see, your main and your array, and your while loop, your random number. You push your random number to the array, which is good. And then we check on the other values. And your question is, so we create our random number, and then we need to have is odd function, which is good, and we can do that in the same while loop if you want. So is odd. We want to pass in our random number. So do if is odd, random number. That means it is will return odd. We'll say print console. So I do a lot of, when I'm debugging, I do a lot of console logging. So this number account random number is odd. And let's just run it. See. Okay. So your num that needs to be x. Rerun. So we have all of these are odd, and then that means the else case, else this is even. So we can do our at least our count odd count equals odd count plus 1. So we increment the odd count. Do the same thing down here for the even count. Even count. And we can do the even sum, which will just be even sum equals even sum plus the random number. And odd sum right here. So we add items, so we loop over, well, we're doing it in the same while loop, which is okay. So we check this, I'm just doing a shortcut because you're adding it to the array. Basically, you're just going to go through a for loop on the same array, index into the array, and do the same exact, this body is going to be the same thing. And then you pretty much add to the odd sum, increase the odd count, so increase the odd count. We gotta fix this, because that's not correct. Add to the odd sum, and then add to the even sum with the random number. So current even sum plus the random number you generated. So now you have your even sum count correct, and your odd sum count correct, and we'll just print this. copy your prints you have down here and print that. So this is actually in the while loop. We want to print outside the while loop. And we have an error, line 31, even number. Even number. Even none is not defined. So we want to do, this is the count, so it's probably even count. Even count, on count, even sum, on sum, save, run. Even sum, save. Even sum. That's weird. Spelled wrong, that's why it didn't work. So rerun. I have odd count, or even count, odd count, even number. It's like the total value is not 100% correct. Oh, odd sum. Add the odd sum, it needs to be a random number. There we go. Now we're generating. So the only thing I'm not really doing here is don't have a function that passes in an array to do the summation of the array, but this is correct. Can do that. Pretty simple. And kind of ideally what we wanted was to have two arrays, like one odd array, one even array, and then what you would do is odd array dot push, and then you push in the random number. So, and then you do even array, even array, even array dot push the random number, and then outside our while loop we would do that function call, array sum. We'll just, the array even sum isn't quite accurate. It should be just array sum as a function name. Array sum, you pass in the odd array, and then it would print out the sum of the odd array, and an easy way to get the length of the odd array would just be odd array.length, like that. So you wouldn't actually have to keep track of the count, because since it's an array, it keeps track of itself using the length property. You do the same thing for odd. So you have the array sum or the even array, and then you just use that to get the length. Does that clear your question up on that?
Yes.
It was really fast. I know.
Yeah, I don't know why I wasn't getting that before. So, no. But I understand it better. Thank you.
Okay, good. Yeah, someone commented saying that use their system console to log. Yes. Using the console log is very, very, very helpful, especially if you get stuck. I don't know, let's just print it out, So. All right, so any questions? Next question? On either last assignment, this assignment, any past assignments, quizzes? No? You guys okay? It's like some people might have dropped off, I don't know. Yeah, it looks like some other people are saying they can help out too. Yeah, yeah. I think when people get stuck, they should email me, and I like to do some Jing videos going through your code to see where you get stuck. But I haven't. This semester, it seems like not a lot of people have been emailing me. I guess it's just going to make it more difficult on them. But yeah, any more questions? If not, then I think that this will end it. Okay, someone is has a question on they don't understand prototypes, and the prototype is, I think it was, let me see if I can pull up. I don't know if you see my screen, but I'm looking at the PDF of our book. You don't have to do prototypes because I can't find an example. You don't have to do prototypes. You don't have to use prototypes because we do our functions like get car info equals function internally. Otherwise, you have to do like this dot the object dot prototype. You don't have to do that if you create your function based off an object like this. Yeah. I mean, that's a little better. But pretty much, you don't need to have a prototype if you're creating your function within the class. Let me do a quick Google search and see if I can find an example of JavaScript prototype. Prototype. Okay, let me show a different screen. Prototype share. Alright, so right here, this is what we've been doing for adding methods to a prototype in our class, like this. And otherwise, you can do the object, the class type dot prototype dot whatever function, or you could do pretty much what this is the same thing as if you just put this dot nationality equals English within the person. So that's the same exact thing. Does that make sense, Paul? I think that's Paul. Yeah, it's Paul. But pretty much that's, to me, when I first saw that, it gets confusing, and I think it's easier and better to read if you just put it all in one when you declare your class. So that's prototypes. Okay. Any more questions on anything? If not, then I will end it for tonight. Yes, if you get stuck, please email me, and I will try to respond quickly. I know we just have a few more quick days, and sorry for the technical difficulties at the beginning. I know that I will make sure that in the future that when I do this, you have to make sure you're part of a Google account and everything like that. So hopefully this clears up the confusion. Ashley, you have a question?
No, I was just making sure that you were gonna send this, just so I could have like a draft, I guess, to use.
Yep.
That makes
I'm
sense.
going to send the JavaScript file that I created to everyone.
Okay, that'd be great. So I can keep it for future classes too, you know?
Yep.
All right, awesome. Thank you.
No problem. Alright, if that's it, I'm going to call this done. Any more last minute questions? Alright, thank you everyone for joining, and email me if you have any questions. Bye.